Hello and welcome to BOW. Back here again with another non-Lego Lego talk. And as the title suggests, I bought a Lego train off Temu. Now, if you're not familiar with this, let me start by saying these are obviously not real Lego bricks. As you can see, they will not be labeled with the Lego logo on them at all. These are different plastic bricks, and typically sets like this do completely knock off a Lego set, and this does knock off a Lego train set, I believe from 2014. That was the high-speed passenger train. It is, of course, retired and has been replaced with a different high-speed passenger train. The new one is actually green. But I decided that since I am building a Lego city, I wanted a train for it, and really I wanted the old 9-volt trains. And while I was searching for one of those, and yes, I did find one, I decided to buy this off Temu just as a temporary train. And today we're going to be taking a look at it. Now, this will be a bit different than a normal review/talk video because I normally show the full completed set, but with this one, I did not complete it. So essentially, if you were to have the completed set, you would have the motor train car here, the passenger train car, and then literally an almost exact copy of this, only facing the back there. Now, you would also have a small platform as a train station. That is very, very lacking, and even in the original views of the Lego version, people were complaining about it. Then we do have 3 minifigures, which are actually pretty great. We have a businesswoman, a guy with a backpack, and I'm not really sure why it's on his shoulder like that right now. And we do have our train conductor. And then there's also a bicycle. There's some pieces you can put to make a crossing over the tracks. And there is enough track to make one oval. Now, honestly, overall, it's not a bad train. This was $75 when I got it, which is half price of, a modern Lego train. Here is the controller, which is pretty small, honestly. And as you can see, it does take 2 AAA batteries. I did use some rechargeable ones. And you can use this to control the train. In here, the motor is in. And I don't know if the 2014 motor was the same, but this one is rechargeable by micro USB, which is actually pretty cool because the modern Lego trains are battery powered, which is so annoying to me. I mean, this is also technically battery powered, but you don't have to take the motor out to swap out batteries. You can at least put it on to charge. Now, the motor is in there. I'm not going to take it out. It is a pretty standard looking motor, but that does take up all of this car, so there's really nothing else you can put in it. You do have a driver's area where I do have a driver from a completely different and unrelated to train Lego set in there. There are also lots of stickers, such as the ones on the sides, lots of this Lego train symbol sticker, and a few others along the way, including a city map and stuff like that. Now, the passenger train car, you actually can put people in, and let's see if I can get this off. Of course, it is going to. There we go. So as you can see in here, we do have some seats for people to sit, and then you'll notice we have these holes in the floor. And what's insane is if you're like me, you're probably thinking, oh, well, that's because this is a, Temu ripoff of an actual Lego set, so they left the holes in there. Well, in the actual Lego set, Lego also left the holes in there, which is kind of ridiculous. I definitely do say that the newer train cars that have the sliding doors and actual seats and stuff like that come out in the more modern trains are much better than this. And this is an exact copy pretty much of the 2014 train. Now, honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, for $75, it's pretty darn great. I actually did a battery test live on my channel, and I believe we made it just over an hour and a half. That was, of course, running it at its slowest speed, I believe, which is honestly still pretty quick, and leaving it alone in my basement to keep going, which my basement is, of course, cold. It's a basement and it's unfinished, so, all that could add in. But from what I understand, the modern trains that run on batteries get about 2 hours, so it honestly fits pretty well. Now, let's talk about my complaints about this train. So, first of all, I don't want to say that the brick quality is bad. It's actually pretty decent, but as you can see, when I was taking off parts of this roof earlier, sometimes parts just want to come off. Again, the holes in there, that was for some reason a Lego design. I know it is not here, but the little train station they have isn't actually a train station. It's more like a bus stop, but for a train. And then, finally, the real issue is the motor. And let me be clear, the motor actually runs fairly well. About an hour and a half run time is not bad for a $75 train. But what is bad is how they do the power button. So it's not in here currently because I can't even be bothered to replace it, but there is a red Technic stud that goes in here, and basically you would put it on like this, can press 1, and it's supposed to turn it on, and then press and hold, and it's supposed to turn it off. Now the thing is, once you get this all snapped in here, it is not secured super well, and turning it on, quite easy. Turning it off, it always was snapping and falling in kind of like this. So I simply took it off because I couldn't deal with it anymore. Now you're also supposed to be able to view the indicator light from the outside, and let me get it turned on real quick. And you can see it sometimes, so it is on right now, and the blue indicator light is blinking, but you'll notice you can't really tell. There are some angles or in darker times that you can see it, but you're supposed to be able to see it so you get an indicator that the motor is on, and so that you don't forget about it. Now, let me go ahead and turn it off. Now, I will say that this power switch is the one thing that I can tell they slightly modified. So in the Lego version, while they still used an abomination like this, instead of having a red Technic pin, I believe this whole thing was like a dome, so it gave it more pressing area. Now, another area that I have some issues with is the motorized wheels. And this actually may just be a defect on my model, but the Technic pin here isn't really Technic-y. So it can be pushed in, but it doesn't snap into place. So sometimes when you pick it up, no, it's not going to do it now, but sometimes when you pick it up, it does fall off. Whereas the other wheels are actually Technic'd in, and they stay in place much better. Now that being said, if you do get it on the tracks and you get it all good, you're probably not going to be lifting it much. So overall, it's a decent train, but it has a lot of flaws. Personally, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. And mainly that is just for the value. This is an easy way to get into Lego trains. And since I bought this off Temu, I'm sure that if you were to search through Temu and AliExpress, you could probably find an even cheaper model. But I will say that the 9-volt trains still reign supreme. Not having to deal with batteries, anything like that, just having to deal with the power tracks. Lego needs to officially bring those back, even if it is at a more expensive price range. But that is the look at the train I bought off Temu. I know that this is a bit different since I did not show it completely built or show everything that it came with. But if you really want to see everything it comes with, look up Lego 2014 Passenger Train. It's not the most impressive thing, but it was good as an entry point to Lego trains. Well, I waited for a 9-volt train, but thankfully I now have a 9-volt train, and I am redoing my track completely out of that because it is so much better. That is all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. And I will see you guys next time with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.